Well, I don't think Mr. Feetham has actually read the government press release, given the reaction that we've seen from him. First of all, we are certainly not pursuing the GSD plan. The GSD plan was only to develop the Victoria Stadium for football and at taxpayers' expense. In other words, giving the richest sport in Gibraltar and in the world the benefit of a taxpayer investment in the Victoria Stadium. What we're doing is accepting that UEFA and FIFA have changed their minds about where the location of the stadium should be, agreeing, as we have previously, to their request therefore now to transfer Victoria Stadium to them, and making an investment in respect of all other sports in Gibraltar. So our scheme covers all sports, where the GSD scheme covered only the footballing aspects and would in any event not have been possible until Winston Churchill Avenue is closed by the operation of the new tunnel, which is still 2 years away.
Well, the devil's in the detail, but when you boil it down, the reality is that the GSD did say a few years ago you should build the National Stadium at Victoria, and you said no, and now they've said, I told you so.
The devil is in the detail, and the detail demonstrates that the government of Gibraltar has always said yes to the request of the Gibraltar Football Association. When they requested Europa, we said yes to that because UEFA said no to Victoria. When they requested Lathbury, we said yes to that because UEFA said no to Victoria. And when UEFA and FIFA have said yes to Victoria, we have said yes to Victoria too, and coupled that with our concern for all sports and ensuring that our investment covers all sports, and the development that we're going to see around Gibraltar to cater for all sports demonstrates that we were absolutely right not to agree to pump taxpayers' money into the development of a national stadium at Victoria for the GFA, and to allow the GFA and UEFA to fund that in a location of their choosing with our support, which now finally is Victoria. But it would have been the worst possible bargain for the people of Gibraltar to have pursued the GSD approach of putting taxpayers' money into Victoria against the wishes of UEFA at the time.
But when UEFA came here a few years ago for the first time looking at where the stadium could be built, if you'd put the right pitch to them for Victoria Stadium, no pun intended, wouldn't you have saved a lot of time?
Hindsight is 20/20 vision, and with that hindsight I can tell you that everything we did I think was exactly the right thing to do to get to the conclusion that we've got to today. In other words, it would have been impossible, as it was, to persuade UEFA to have the facility at Victoria as a multi-sports facility or as an only football facility if we hadn't gone through the process, laborious as it has been, of demonstrating that the pitch could not be at Europa or could not be at Lathbury, because in one instance the opposition of people who were genuinely against it and the logistical issues to do with Europa, and because of Lathbury having further logistical issues. That has been the process that has persuaded UEFA. It has been that process that has been persuasive. There was no argument that could have been put that was not put in the early stages of this process, and now we have a better result for all of the sporting community and for all of the community generally.